Yeah.
1 2 1 2. Turn me up. Yeah.
There he is. Senseless. School is never where I learn my lessons. Rooftops with boom boxes where my searches ended. Famous, I wanted ever since my mind could think it. Handcuffed in the back of Impalas for public drinking. If brown music ain't discovered me, I'd probably be an alkie in recovery. Now I'm just an addict with a 1 to 3 contract to bring back the sucker free. Game in a choke till the broke niggas live comfortably in the back of a dollar van with the gat to the driver, man. Thinking about my mama, I just need a couple dollars, man. I'm an honest sinner, try to be the hardest worker, even though my problem's bigger. I just got a life preserver. Man, the streets is cold. Every day is 3 below. And in a week or so, I might just be with Keisha Cole. My story is told. Walking down Glory's Road, grinding forever. You can tell by my dirty toes. I walk a good mile, I wear a good shoe. I might just be wild, I might be brand new. I talk with some style, my voice is clear blue. My mic sound nice.
What's up, everybody? It's Asim D Explicit, and this is episode 1, The Artist on the Creatives Agenda YouTube page. I want to shout out everybody that's here listening. Hope you rock with me throughout the whole thing. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. If you know me or you don't know me, I was born and raised in Southside Jamaica, Queens, New York. What you don't know is I didn't immediately start making music. I was an artist first as far as drawing, doing comic books with my cousin Rev, Get Money. I got the talent from my pops. My pops could draw really well. My mom's played music around the house and everything, but that was like the gist of, what I was listening to was, her playing Anita Baker, Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye, and all of the soul singers and everything like that. So I was exposed to that, but I wasn't really doing music yet. I had a very, very, very bad behavior problem. I know I struggled with ADHD, so I knew I struggled with it back then. It just wasn't a type of thing that was diagnosed back then. But I just couldn't sit still. I was always in trouble, always getting suspended from school for fighting and all of that. And my mom's always had to put me on punishment. I remember one time, my mom's took my comic book collection. That was the punishment. Instead of me letting the punishment rock out or whatever the case may be, I went and got the comic books and threw them away. How dumb was that? Very dumb. But I think like at that point I was so frustrated with, my behavior and then smelling my own piss. Cause now, I'm 12, I'm hanging around kids from 40 projects and all that. I just was like, fuck it. I don't even want to draw no more. So I was done with that for a minute. And then I started running the streets. I was the youngest nigga in the crew. Scared out of my mind in the beginning because, they were stealing cars, robbing dollar vans and dollar cabs and all that. I remember my man Herb said, yo, if you're gonna be scared, stay in the house. You know what I mean? I quickly grew out of my fear. And then I started running with the crowd for real. After that, a couple of niggas in the crew started rhyming, and then a couple more niggas in the crew started rhyming, and it became like a Wu-Tang thing. Of course, me being the youngest, I want to rhyme too, So my cousin Rev Get Money, who I used to do the comic books with, he wrote my first rhyme ever. I didn't like everything that he said in the rhyme. So I asked him if I could write it over, and he said, yeah. So when I wrote it over and I spit it back to him, he was like, yo, that's actually dope. You know what I'm saying? That's when I discovered my pen. Fast forward, we had one nigga in the crew. He had a corporate job at the time, if I'm not mistaken. He had a good job. I don't know if it was at a bank or whatever, but he had a really good job. He decided he was going to quit that job and become a DJ. His name was David Crawford. He went by the name of DJ Extreme. So DJ Extreme, he hones his skills. He becomes real good, starts selling mixtapes and everything like that. So I would do freestyles a lot with him. Now, while all the other niggas was running the streets, I knew how to stay out of the street. I knew how to separate it and be like, yo, I got to go, over here and do this. I can't be out there running with y'all. And it was more exciting for me to do music, because I seen it on TV. You watch, you know, the Eric B's and Rakims and the Big Daddy Kanes and the Cool G Raps and all that coming up. My uncles freestyled a little bit every now and again, playing around. But for me to be actually doing this shit, it was crazy. So I was more so like, fuck the streets, I'm going in here. You know what I mean? I'm going in studio. It wasn't really a studio, it was his attic, but we was up there, we was rocking out. So I did some freestyles. Guys that we was hanging out with that was rapping with us started going to jail, started getting killed, all kinds of crazy wild shit. And so none of them really took it as serious as I did. I took it very serious. On my punishments, I'm sneaking out and this, that, and the third. Me and Extreme rocked for like 2 years, I would say. When I got like 14, around 14, 15, we just got really good. I learned, you know, mic positioning where you know, because back then there was no Pro Tools, there was no computer generated DAWs. It was just, you had a tape machine and you were going straight to the tape. And if you fucked up, wherever you fucked up at, you had to either start all over again, or if you had space, you could start from there. And so I just learned how to control my volume, how to control, you know, how I'm moving around and, you know, this, that, and the third. One day we did a joint called the Mr. Body Bagger or Mr. Body Bag. I don't remember exactly what the name is, but, and I don't remember the rhymes, but I know the hook was like the Mr. Body Bagger. It's the Mr. Body Bagger, some shit like that, right? But it was dope. Extreme had it. He played it for another up and coming DJ who was actually his cousin. And so this particular DJ, he heard the joint and he was like, yo, nah, I gotta have that on my mixtape. Like, it has to go on my mixtape. And so Extreme was like, well, what if we put it on both our mixtapes at the same time? And the other DJ was like, nah, I gotta have that exclusive for my mixtape. Extreme thought it over. I was like, yo, you know, let him have it. I could do, you know, plenty more songs, plenty more freestyles. And so he let the DJ have it. And that DJ went by the name of